Vince McMahon does it again. Another wonderful WrestleMania taking place in Dallas, Texas, as it was champion versus champion, Roman Reigns against Brock Lesnar. It's one of the best storylines that we've seen in the WWE in a long time, and the number one storyline of all professional wrestling. It lasted a long time. It's the best Roman Reigns that we've seen. It's the best Brock Lesnar that we've seen. And Paul Heyman, even he is different because he went between being with Brock Lesnar and being with Roman Reigns. But it was a really fantastic main event as Roman Reigns now is the undisputed champion of both Raw and SmackDown. So hats off to both of those guys, including Paul Heyman. They worked a terrific story, and it culminated in Roman Reigns winning the championship from Brock Lesnar, the undisputed champion. Now, my question is, what's next for the head of the table? That's the question. Like, it's Roman Reigns being Brock Lesnar. Is there a return match, or who's next for Roman? I'm looking forward to seeing who that is. Pat McAfee against Austin Theory. I knew that Pat McAfee was going to have a great match. I saw him in NXT against Seth Rollins, and I know that he was going to have a good match. But boy, against Austin Theory, he's pulling out all the stops. And I think there was a lot of heat there, as far as what we saw from Austin Theory and Pat McAfee. I think that was a well-told story, and no one's going to remember that match. Even though I liked it, no one's going to remember it because all we'll remember is Vince McMahon taking off the dress shirt, taking off the jacket, and him getting in the ring against Pat McAfee. I thought we were done seeing Vince in the ring. I thought we were done. Last time we saw him was against CM Punk in Sacramento someplace, and now here he is again, taking off the shirt, and he's there, and he's taking on Pat McAfee. And Vince beats Pat McAfee. And, of course, that didn't set well with Stone Cold Steve Austin, because here comes Steve Austin. Just when we thought that Austin was done after what he did Saturday against KO, against Kevin Owens, we thought, okay, that's the end of Steve Austin. And then he comes out. And there's a back and forth between Vince and Steve Austin. And, of course, the worst stunner that we have ever seen. I thought the first stunner with Vince McMahon falling out in front of Steve Austin was bad. This was the worst. And even Steve Austin had to laugh at how bad Vince took that stunner. It was something. If you missed it, you got to go back to Peacock and watch that. McMahon's 74, 75 years of age. He can't get down there anymore and do those things. Even though he's this genetic jackhammer, and he might be that, but he can't take a stunner. That was really funny. So it was really good to see that. Also, I thought that Edge and AJ Styles had the match I thought they would. I thought it was one of the best matches at WrestleMania. But I will tell you, for my taste, for my money, Bianca and Becky, they stole WrestleMania. They had the best match that I saw at WrestleMania. And hats off to both of those ladies for the Raw Women's Championship. They laid it out on the line, big time. Edge and AJ Styles had a really good match. I thought Roman and Brock told a great story. But, man, I just thought that on Saturday, that was a terrific match. And on top of that, by the way, we got a chance to see The Undertaker go into the Hall of Fame. Man, what a great hour to watch The Undertaker go into the Hall of Fame. Everything he talked about. He omitted some people. There was no Mick Foley mentioned there. But ultimately, he was able to reach to the people he really wants to reach. And good for The Undertaker that he goes into his home state of Texas and goes into the WWE Hall of Fame. So you tell me, what was the best match of WrestleMania? I loved Night 2. I really liked Night 1. Man, for me, Becky and Bianca Belair was the best match I saw at WrestleMania. But it's close, though, because I thought Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey, they wrestled pretty well also. But you tell me, what was the best match? But, man, WrestleMania, all you got to do is put it in the ring and leave it to the wrestlers to deliver.